I marked a few passages here. Like one of the ones that I thought was interesting was the different explanations of jihad, because this one is totally different from the way that Sam Harris describes it, like this violent terrorist justification. This is the
Right.
part where it talks about jihad as a peaceful ideological struggle. But then I think later on it does have something like the more violent interpretation too of, how you should behead the infidel or something like that. But yeah, I
Well, it
don't need to
seems
actually
like,
read this paragraph, but that's like it does have the jihad as a peaceful ideological struggle right at the beginning of the book, and then I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, it has the like behead the infidels part later on in the book.
yeah, one of the things that I noticed too is they're they are particularly unkind to infidels. Like for
Hmm.
instance,
Oops, sorry,
if one
I
group
forgot I had.
aggresses against another group of Muslims, if they are Muslims, there's different rules of engagement versus non-Muslims.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
they're especially brutal against people who are quote unquote infidels. One thing that I know you gave me like a YouTube audiobook to listen to, and I listened to the whole thing. One of the most disappointing things about that audiobook is that they did not use the word infidel.
Oh,
And
really? I didn't.
I was
I have a
disappointed by that.
physical copy of the book that I got somewhere, so I didn't know they do that.
Yeah, in the audiobook you sent me, instead of saying infidel, they just said non-believer.
Oh, okay. I wonder why they edited it that way.
Yeah, because I always thought of infidel as something that someone from the Middle East would yell at somebody as an insult.
Yeah,
Infidel!
yeah.
But the first time I heard that repeatedly was in an episode of Batman the Animated Series
Oh, really?
where, yes, there's an episode where he goes up against Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al
Oh,
Ghul, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
right.
Um, and Ra's al Ghul's bodyguard keeps checking Batman because he's not following proper protocol and giving Ra's al Ghul proper deference. And every time he does it, he like pushes Batman, like shoves him, and then calls him an infidel.
Oh, okay.
And the third time he attempts to do that, Batman has had enough, and he tosses the man to the side. To the side. It's like an old condom or something like that.
I don't remember the first time I heard the term infidel. It might have been on a cartoon or something like that too. It might have even been on South Park when uh I don't even remember what episode it was, but
I could imagine.
Cartman is racist against everyone, so he definitely was that way about terrorists at some point, or I mean
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
Muslims in general.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think it's
Infidel.
interesting that I think one thing that's interesting about Islam too is that it's kind of similar to Mormonism in one way, in that it's almost claiming to be the truest form of Christianity without calling itself Christianity, but it's actually Islam, of course. But then also at the same time, though, it's actually more like Judaism in a little bit because they don't believe that Jesus was divine in the same way that Jews do.